are in the Jackson Knarr. I'm gonna give you my first thoughts on the water and let you know, what I think, what I'm thinking. So does it suck? No, I don't think so. I think that they definitely made some significant improvements to their drive system. The boat, it's kind of rocky, but it's pretty stable. It's designed to be rocky. This is definitely going to be a boat that's going to do well in current, I think, which I tend to fish a lot of current. So that, that's an upside in my opinion. It is quick. The pedal drive system it takes a little bit to get used to, but it's definitely a quick drive. I was very surprised. I was pleased with how fast it took off. It has great takeoff speed. It seems smooth to me. Other people are going to tell you otherwise. After you get past that first, little bit of adjustment to understand, like, okay, what power you need to exert and so on and so forth, I think it comes fairly natural to me after that. I did notice that some people were experiencing like that hump to get over. At first I did experience that, but it's not there now. Or maybe it's there and I just don't recognize it. I don't know. But it's not there now. That's an important aspect, I guess. I guess that's gonna have to be something that happens as I get more time in the boat, because this isn't going to be the only time that I'm out here testing it. I'm going to test this boat more than just today, but today is like that first look, my first impressions of it. I apologize for the wind noise if you guys got any of that, but this is going to be my first impressions and what I think of the boat. I did not exert a whole lot of energy, and I just moved a pretty good distance. I don't know exactly how far I moved because I don't have graphs or anything. I don't know what speed I'm going, but I can tell you for sure that this is a pretty fast boat. I'll just try to get after it here real quick. Now we're into the wind, mind you. Just like that, get that reverse. Basically came to a dead stop. That's an aspect I really like. I really like that instant, change. That's one thing with the Hobie that I kind of, made a sacrifice with, was that, that instant reverse, or, that immediate stop. Because the Hobie, you have to turn the handle in order for it to just, to be able to go in reverse. It's not a huge issue. I learned to manage with it. But it is something that I missed coming from the Old Town Predator PDL. Whenever I got into the Hobie, I did miss that instant reverse. So, pedal drive system, in my opinion, they've made some vast improvements. They've made it a heck of a lot faster. It's definitely quieter than previous drive systems. It does still have kind of like when you go to the gym and you get on one of those wind bikes. I don't know what they're called. Big gym goer here, epitome of fitness. But when you go to the gym and you get on one of those wind bikes, it sounds like that. And I don't know how much of that is below the water. I would love to put a camera down here and see, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. So that's something that's kind of yet to be determined. I'm hoping to get a camera to throw down there to see if I can just kind of see how much noise is down there from the camera's point of view. I don't know. That's something I'm going to hopefully try to do in the future here, and maybe give you all an update. But pedal drive system, they made a lot of really cool improvements to it. I don't know if it's enough yet. I don't know if it's enough for them to, you know, keep my money. I love the instant reverse. I love the instant forward whenever you're in reverse. So there's definitely that. So we are fighting some wind here today. These are not like pristine, ideal conditions to test in, but you're not always going to be fishing in ideal, pristine conditions. So, okay, so one thing I just noticed, when you're really, like when you're really pedaling, you're getting after it, you know, like that kind of deal, you know. This seat wants to kick back. It does it, and when you're going forward, when you're really pushing those pedals to get after it, and it'll also do it when you're going to go in reverse. That's an issue. That's something that I feel like should be fixed, because, like, you know, I don't know if you can hear that, but like you're really pushing it. It's not as much in reverse, but the seat wants to lift up like that, and you know, that's a con. Definitely gonna say that's a con. So we're gonna keep going though. So I want to quickly touch on the seat. The seat is in a little bit lower of a position than I would prefer, but that might actually not be a bad thing, given that obviously, the height of the pedals is, I think, matched correctly with the seat. So that couldn't be, there might not necessarily be a con, but it might just be something that is, you know, an adjustment to. I don't want to label that as a con, but the seat is a little bit lower than some of the other, you know, pedal-driven boats out there right now. Specifically the Hobie. The Hobie seat is definitely higher than this one. Again, that's not, I don't want to call it a con. That's a, you know, that's a personal preference thing. Everybody feels differently. So, you know, that's something that, you know, just to be aware of whenever you purchase this boat. And hopefully you have the opportunity to try it first, but you know, if you're watching this video, you might not have the opportunity to try it first. And that's kind of why I'm making it for you, because I have the opportunity to be in one and really give it a thorough test. So, but yeah, seat is, I mean, I haven't been in a long time. I don't know what it would feel like after 8 hours, but you know, it supports my butt, and there's definitely, you know, there's not a whole lot of like, there's not give, but it's also not so rigid that it's uncomfortable. So, you know, there's that. You know, almost every kayak manufacturer right now has a seat that they'll tote as being comfortable, but then 90% of the people that buy kayaks go and buy a kayak cushion and put a kayak cushion on the seat because it's just not comfortable enough. So, you know, go figure. But yeah, seat's good, a little low, but I think it's matched appropriately for the pedals. That's my takeaway on that. We're gonna do a little bit of maneuvering here. We're hard to the right, and getting a pretty good turning radius. And it's not turning like the 360 would turn, but you know, for a pedal driven boat, you know, you're looking at about a 20-foot circumference circle that I just made. Turn hard to the right, turn hard to the left. Feel that? You see that seat kicking up? About the same size circle, so not bad turning radius. The rudder is definitely more responsive than their previous versions. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So they did significantly improve the rudder. That's a good thing. So let's talk about just your basic fishing, turning, maneuvering type of deal. You know, how can any boat be better than the Hobie PA14 or 12 360? I mean, let's be realistic. No boat can maneuver better than what's capable with that drive. And anybody that argues against it, I'll argue with them. Unless you're maybe with a paddle and you're an excellent paddler like some folks are. You know, there's some world-class paddlers out there. You know, I'm sure that one of them can probably maneuver a boat a little quicker than anybody will with a pedal drive, because they're true professionals. They're true athletes of the sport, and they're, you know, they have so much experience doing it. It would be very difficult for anyone with a pedal drive to maneuver a boat better than that. But what about a boat this size? A boat this size, you're not going to find a better drive system out there that has better maneuverability than the 360 drive. You're just not. And that's something that whenever you purchase this boat, you're taking that into consideration, or you're just in denial. And that's okay. Either one. Whichever one makes you happiest is honestly the best thing. But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about which one's better. We're talking about how this one performs. And this one performs pretty well. It's definitely got a radius as we already showed. Like I said, what about when you're just fishing and you're drifting down a bank and you need to just kind of angle your boat or turn your boat slow? How does it perform then? Well, we're going to check that out. And give you a good idea. Well, right now I'm snagged, but we're going to give you the best idea we can via video of how that's going to perform. So let me get unsnagged and then we'll do that. All right, we're going to turn that rudder just to kind of give us a nice gradual turn. We're coming up to a corner of this cove. We're going to just kind of, I'm not touching anything, I'm not doing anything, and it's turning. And that's exactly what I wanted. You know, it's turning. And if I don't want it to turn, just straighten it out and it stops turning. Now, granted, there's a little bit of current, a little bit of something pushing, but that's that's a fishing, scenario. When you're fishing down a bank and you want to turn your boat, but you're still fishing and you're not pedaling, like that's a legit scenario. How well does the boat turn when it's not under power? And it just, as soon as I hit the rudder, it started responding. That shows you that that's a very responsive rudder system. I'm pretty pleased with that. All right, so we're gonna stand up and see how this feels. So what I can say before we do that, let's talk about this. So this area right here, I noticed flexed pretty good whenever I was just pressing on it. I can feel it flexing underneath my feet, and it's not warm, so that's a little concerning. I need to get away from the shoreline because we're getting blown into the shore. That's a little concerning though, because it's not warm and the boat's already flexing. What's it going to do whenever it does get warm? So that's something that you know, I would like to visit that with Jackson and find out, you know, if they have some foam blocks that are going to fit in there, because that's definitely something I would want to get fixed. That flex. It's not a deal breaker, but you know, it's definitely something that they need to look at. I was able to stand up fairly easily. I hope this audio is not crap. It's pretty windy, but I was able to stand up pretty easily and, you know, sit back down. I did push off the seat to get up. I'm sure with time and comfort, I would probably get a little better at that and not require that push. But right now, we're going to go to another side of the lake and try to get out of this wind. That way you guys can actually hear and understand me and this isn't annoying. So. That turned pretty good. I'm gonna try to video this seat rising up for you guys so you see what I'm talking about whenever you're really getting after it. So that's what I'm meaning whenever I said that the seat's rising up and kicking back. I don't like it. We'll see. One other thing that I'm not exactly a fan of, and you know, this is not a huge issue, but you can move the seat back if you need to, but I'm 5'11", and this is the area where you would use to clean your drive and have access to your prop. And you can tell that area at my length away from the pedals is covered by the seat, which would mean that I would have to move my seat to open that area, to open that little hatch, have access to the prop, to clear it off. Doesn't really help, you know, like it makes the situation take longer. And you know, when you look at other drive systems, you know, they're not in the way of the seat. I don't think there's any other drive systems that have a seat in the way of being able to access an Old Town, Native, Wilderness, and Hobie. But the reality is you don't have to clear grass off your Hobie prop or off of your Hobie fins because it's not a prop. So, you know, Hobie definitely gets a check mark in the better column there. But that would be, you know, that would be irritating. I think having to move my seat every time I have to clear the prop. So that's something to consider. Not a fan of that. Oh, that's a big fish. Oh, there we go. Yeah, buddy. There we go. 19-incher. She's bleeding a little bit. I'm not going to keep her out of the water. So that was a solid fish. That's why I come here. She splashed me in my glasses. I see wet marks or water marks on my glasses. So how about that turning radius right there too? That's pretty slick. I'm not unhappy about this boat. I'm mentioning some cons, but I don't want you people to think that, oh my God, this boat's terrible. That's not what I'm saying. So just hang tight till the end for some final thoughts, please. Yeah, just a couple pedal strokes really moves this boat fast. It really gets you going quick, which, I feel like there's a little bit of a delay with the fins, but not a lot. But this one makes it feel like there's a lot of a delay. So that's definitely a pro for Jackson. So I just turned the rudder, and I'm gonna not pedal, and I want to see, how quick this boat just naturally starts turning, which I can already tell. And I'll pan to the rear camera right now. It's turning without me moving, and I'm not getting any wind. Y'all can see right here in front of me, the water's fairly flat. I'm not getting a whole lot of wind, and it's still turning. That rudder is super responsive. I'm very impressed with it. That is definitely one thing they did right on this boat. And that's turned, all the way to the right. And it's just slowly turning me. I like it. All right. So, a couple things here. I'm going to show you guys. It's not overly difficult to get into back here. I did bring my kayak cushion along just so I can try it out, see if I needed it, but I don't feel like I did. So I can reach back here and open my black pack pretty easy. It's not, a situation where it's uncomfortable to get to. The seat, has a little bit of space back behind here, what I have left here. I will probably put a hook into my kayak cushion. Hang tight. So as I was saying, a good bit of room back here left. I'm going to put that tray that Jackson, or the bin that Jackson gives with this boat, I'm going to put that there, and probably still have a little bit of room back here for anything else, maybe a couple bags of plastics or anything like that. But you can tell, this is there, and like it should be. It's not tied down right now, but there's plenty of room there for it. I will find some way to put my paddles. I'm probably going to put my paddles similar to how the Hobie has theirs, using some roto grips. Just, 2 roto grips on each side. Yeah, not a bad deal. A lot of room, easy to reach to, easy to turn right back around. So, not unhappy about that. I am unhappy that I put a giant treble hook in my kayak cushion, but we're gonna get that fixed here real quick. All right, so I put the kayak cushion on after I got the hook out of it, and naturally I'm sitting a little bit higher. This actually feels pretty good. That's not not a huge difference, but it makes a big difference, if that makes any sense. So it didn't change the pedal stroke at all, but just raised up just a little bit. I kind of like it. Okay, one more thing, and this might be one of the last things we touch on, in this particular video at least. So we're going to go over this horizontal rod storage and how they have it set up. So it's good up to the front, it's pretty clear. I really wish that it allowed for easier to do foot control steering, but like I said earlier, now that I look at it, I'm gonna have to figure that out, because I don't have that exposed track to put my foot control steering loop in. So I might have to figure that out just to, you know, have it. But there's not a lot of space down here, you know. I mean, you can get your rods out and you can get them out, but I feel like this thing, whenever it's in here, is really ineffective. So what you really have to do is kind of put it back here and do it that way if you want to keep them, you know, keep them separated in there like that. It's not as easy and seamless as the PA14, but I would say it's about normal for the PA12. The PA12 doesn't have a lot of space in that area either. So, you know, that's one aspect to consider. You know, you can tell I'm putting them back here and just kind of clipping them in. You know, that works really well, but I feel like it could be better. Like I said, again, you know, the foot control steering is going to have to be somewhere like right there, which means I'll have to get those tight to the sides in order to do it. So if I go that route, that's what I'm going to have to do. You know, same concept on this side. It's you know, it's kind of tight. You know, you can get them out. Excuse the wind, I'm so sorry. You know, you can get them out. But I just wish there was more room here, and I feel like that could be solved if they redesigned this, which I think they need to do anyway because of the kicking, you know, the popping up. So that's my thoughts on that. I think that the foot control steering is awesome, and I'm gonna have it on any boat that I own. And equally important, and if I can't have both in a fairly easy way, I don't know if it's the right boat. But, you know, everybody has different needs. So, still a lot of testing to be done. I'm done because you all are probably extremely annoyed with this wind noise. I'm going to do my best to try to edit it out. So, I apologize immensely. This is my first look. This is my first impression. I'm not unhappy, but I'm not through the roof either. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Got a lot more to do. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. It's a good boat. It is a well thought out platform, but it has some cons. It has some flaws. I think the biggest flaw for me that's non-operational, like, you know, with drive system and rudder stuff, is the latch. It's not a big deal. It can be fixed. But to me, it's like, how'd you mess that up? I think the floor definitely needs support. In my opinion, that's a definite need. Is that floor needs some support. the space of the seat risers along the sides for where the rod staging goes, I think that really needs to be slimmed down somehow and kind of streamlined. Operationally, my biggest beef is the seat, that kickback whenever you pedal. You know, that seat was really just kind of like moving a lot, and I was afraid that was going to happen. You know, that shouldn't happen. Can that be shimmed up? Sure, but you know, you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to do that. That seat needs to not move when you go to pedal. Like there's really no leeway on that. The seat can't move when you go to pedal. I'm torn because I really, truly like the pedal motion. Some people are going to say I'm crazy. I don't care. I really don't care what they think. I hope they listen to this. I don't care what they think. And some of y'all might be thinking, I don't care what you think. And that's cool. I applaud you. But I really like that pedal motion. That pedal motion, it seemed smooth. You know, there was a bit of a hump, I guess, but it just kind of either went away or I stopped noticing it altogether. After a little while, I mean, that, you know, I was just pedaling and it felt natural to me. It felt good to me. It felt really good. My back doesn't hurt. The rudder turned the boat really well. The boat maintained position really well, especially in the wind. We had some pretty decent wind out there. It maintained position. It tracked really well. I didn't paddle it. I should have, but I didn't. I don't know how it paddles. I should have paddled it. I do love the instant reverse and instant forward. But you did lose. You lost some maneuverability, or I lost some maneuverability from the 360 drive when you're in tight spots. And I guess I didn't really realize that I used the 360 as much as I did. I really didn't feel like I did because I just didn't feel like I did. But I guess out there today, I kind of recognized and realized that, okay, yeah, I definitely would have used the 360 in this instance, but it's a good boat. It doesn't suck. The boat doesn't suck. So unlike the title of this video suggests, or the clickbait title that you guys all clicked on to watch, the boat doesn't suck. The boat has flaws, but every boat has flaws. The Hobie PA14 360 has flaws. The Native Titans have flaws. The Old Town Predators, or Big Water 132, I don't know, whatever they're calling their boat now, it has flaws. The Wilderness Systems pedal drives, they have flaws. Every boat has flaws. It's about what boat has the least important and least amount of flaws that you're willing to accept to purchase. That's really the thought process that needs to be put into buying a product like this. I just don't know, for me, since I have both the Hobie PA14 360 and now the Jackson Knarr, I don't know which one's right. My back doesn't hurt. I said that already. Just got done pedaling it. I wasn't out there forever, but my back doesn't hurt. That's a huge deal for me, in case you haven't noticed. So, I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. You know, anybody that's tried out the Knarr, anybody that's been in the Knarr that's not on the Jackson Pro staff, you know, put it in the comments and say what you think. That way maybe that can be built upon for other people. You know, and if you're on Jackson's team, maybe you can explain some of the things that I encountered. So throw that down in the comments too. Throw it down there. Like, Jake, you're stupid. Don't make fun of my boat. That's our boat. I'm good with it. Defend your product. That's what every good pro staffer should do. I just just passed 3 gingers in the back of a pickup truck. It's weird. They're standing up. I don't know about that. I need to get out of here. I got a flat tire. This has been a day, okay? I'm rambling. Who knows how long this video is at this point, but it's been a day. I don't even want to talk about this morning. Got off the water. Had a flat tire. Got the spare tire on right now. The little don't go over 50-mile-an-hour jobber. That's what's on there right now. Probably gonna drive down the highway and it's gonna come flying off. 3 wheels back to Hershey, baby. Who knows? I don't know. It's been a day. I'm eager to get home and edit this video. Who knows? This might not even end up in it. Y'all might be sitting there not even listening to this. But just because I said that, I'm gonna probably put it in there. Oh my gosh. It's a good boat. I don't know if it's the right boat. We'll talk to y'all on the next video. I'm still gonna have this thing for a little while. Still gonna use it and do some more testing in it to see if I like it. So I appreciate y'all watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments, because even though I might not be swayed by them, I'm interested to hear what they are. So talk to y'all in a little bit.